Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid gets your music into Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all the online stores and streaming services. So if you're a new artist, you're looking to put out some music into the world, follow the link in the description of this video. You get a discount on your first year's fee, and you support Chad's Home all at once, so it's a win-win. There's a few other distributors out there, but DistroKid is personally my favorite for a bunch of reasons. They offer all these really cool services and resources for you. One of which is lyric syncing, which is super important right now because on Apple Music and on Instagram, you could play the song and the lyrics follow, but a lot of times they're out of sync or they're not correct. DistroKid actually lets you sync up those lyrics to the song, so it's perfect for your fans who want to follow along, sing along, all that good stuff. So check them out. They're amazing. Link in the description. And with that, here's Walter Etc. Enjoy. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Chad's Home. Today, I'm very excited to be sitting with an artist that I've been trying to get on here for a while. He's just one of the best songwriters in the game. Dustin from Walter Etc. What's up, dude?
Hey, that was a nice introduction. Thank you.
Of course. It's very true. I love your songwriting style. I love the honesty. I love everything about it.
Thank
Big
you.
fan.
I appreciate that.
Of course. So I guess I just want to dive in with the album Dark Comedy, performance piece of my life. It's obviously super honest. It's kind of like a breakup concept album ish, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess like when you write something that honest and that personal, who do you play it for first? You know what I mean? Like who do you like vet it with?
The true answer was no one. But
oh wow.
No one really heard it except for Chris, our drummer, and then Ian, our friend who recorded it with. But besides that, and then maybe like the other bandmates, Milk and Jake, I guess so. We sent it to the bandmates.
Yeah.
But besides that, definitely didn't show it to anyone else or anything.
Oh wow. Is that kind of a nerve-wracking thing when it's something like that honest? Or do you get like fearful or nervous of putting it out there, or is it kind of like part of the process, you know?
It's definitely like always a part of the process with every album and stuff, but this one in particular being a little bit extra personal, I guess, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was extremely anxiety inducing, and it's to this day still very embarrassing that it exists.
Really? Yeah, I mean, it's been out for like how many months now?
Like 6 months. It
6
came
or
out
7?
like right when came out.
Right. Which was
So
a bummer.
it's about 6 months ago.
Yeah, 6-7 months.
Yeah, 7 now.
So yeah, now that it's been out, it's been sitting, you've had some time with it out in the world. How do you feel about it? How are you liking it? How are you liking the reception?
Well, to be completely honest, it came out like right when it started. Like I said, the song "Things Are Going Too Good," literally the single was released right as people were like rushing to buy toilet paper and freaking out.
Wow.
So even after the album was out for like 2 weeks, I was so consumed by the world news that even for me, the album's just been swept under the rug of 2020.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But on a personal level, I'm like kind of stoked because it was not something I really wanted. If there was ever an album to just sweep under the rug and not want to talk about and not perform live, this would be the one, you know?
Right.
So like selfishly, personally, I'm kind of stoked it was swept under the rug, but at the same time, it's, more people probably could have heard the record if we were able to support it properly and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, did you have like a plan? Like, were you gonna go on tour and like do?
Yeah, we had a lot of plans. Unfortunately, we had like a West Coast tour already booked and a European tour booked.
Dang.
And then with plans to hit the East Coast like around now, or probably would have been in September. So I had to cancel a lot of plans, which sucks for sure.
Yeah.
But there's bigger problems in the world than the Walter tour, so it's okay.
I love your attitude about all these things.
Well, what can I say? It's a pretty self-indulgent album during like a time where you don't need to be self-indulgent in 2020, you know?
Right.
So
yeah,
that's all there is to say about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, so you didn't really have a chance to play these songs live,
right?
Really?
Never. Besides like an acoustic live stream thing or something.
Oh, wow.
The band has never played these songs to this day.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, and I mean, you kind of touched on it, but I feel like when somebody writes something like that and then has to go perform it like over and over, night after night, I I'm always curious how an artist does that, because it's such like heavy emotions and such an experience. Like, would it just, even with some of your older songs, like, does it bring you back to those emotions and like make you feel shitty again, or does it like help you get past it because you're kind of numbing yourself, I guess?
That's a really good question. Yeah, because I think about some of our old songs that we still play live a lot, or we're playing live, like a song called like Otter Pops in the Icebox was from when I was really young. And when I play it, you definitely, like, there's a part of you that becomes like, it's like this mechanized song that you play and you do like the same motions every time you do this one part or something. There's definitely that, to where you can like go on autopilot and play it. But I never get sick of playing any of my old songs, or I still feel the same way as the song is, you know, maybe in like a, not so directly and literally, but like the angst that comes out in that song Otter Pops, like still captures some like anger and frustration in my life nowadays. So it still feels pretty potent when I play it.
Nice. That's
but
cool.
There is that effect of like, you can go on autopilot and play it too, because you've played the song so many times. You could almost fake it, but I think I still feel it.
Nice. That's good. It's good that you're not a robot up there, just like not feeling anything.
And if I was a robot, I would admit it, but I don't think I am yet. Hello, I'm Walter Etc, and this song is called Wildflowers of America. Had a nice day out on the short drive, leaving Camp's cottage in Ohio, looking at the Instagram of a dead friend at a red light, trying to convince myself this is real. It's the cop car behind me, my expired registration, and these little felony tablets, the crushed and empty cans of Modelo. But I'm saved by the hell of a darker skinned male, cursing at himself on the curb, slouching towards our home, where I come home to you like Homer, and you're pissed off at your hairdresser, saying that app you got was a Russian bot. You know we're cooking couscous. Speaking of pills, lamenting plastics in the ocean and first sales. Speaking of that hike we did in the Sierras, it's gone to a wildfire, and that little girl who went missing was found sleeping over at a friend's house. And when I need to conjure a peaceful image to settle the nerves, I picture you on that rocket 13,000 feet, and your little new hiking boots turning pink on your shoulder blades, rolling a sturgeon and rambling about the wildflowers of America. Like you and I are wildflowers of America, and of course you're not paying attention. You're taking in the view, wondering what to caption this and how to properly appreciate the sunset. Hell, I don't know. How could I know? There's probably a science to it we don't understand. Anyway, that was the nice thought that I had while leaving Camp's cottage in Ohio. I was helping him move out, 'cause I'm the van guy. Can't a couch, got it out by his ex-wife, and I was sorry to take the cash he offered, but I've got these tickets to pay off for. I'm gonna have to dry clean a suit for a funeral soon, for which still no one knows why he did it. And is it fucked up if I wanna know how he did it? 'Cause we had a lot of fun and we could never go back, and it hasn't hit me yet, probably never will, but it serves to remind these are precious times, probably thickens my anchor on the bottom of every fickle detail. Like your little new hiking boots, anything that's closer to the source I approve, like seeking your cycle up to the full moon in gentle oscillations. I will lay a towel down, return the gentle oscillations. Sing your hymn into my mouth, creamy colored patience, gentle oscillations, spreading open the back door of secret government operations. Ditching the kids on vacation. We're pulsing back and forth like manic depression. Growing more acute as we grow old, but I remain in full control. Feels so good that I can't let go of the trigger. My fingers rattling and laughs, adding up, switch all the ancient love from deep within. I black out his evidence, and under the full moon I come to, sitting on my balcony across from you. I'm suddenly the sanest man that the world has ever known, and you're wearing my sweatshirt and rolling a stoke, and I'm rambling about the wildflowers of America, like you and I, wildflowers of America. And of course you are paying attention, 'cause why wouldn't you be paying attention to me? 'Cause this moment is unique and we will never get it back. And I know how that sounds, but I've never felt it so strongly. Ooh, this is my stem and those are your petals, and this is the subject they teach in a class that I could never afford and probably wouldn't understand.
Was it tough to get to a point like where you could be super honest in your lyric writing? Like in the early days, were you, I don't know, like nervous or scared to write about certain things, and like over time, did that go away and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd actually say it's probably the opposite.
Oh.
In that in the beginning it was a lot easier because there was no one who like knew I wrote songs or was listening.
Right.
And now, like with this latest album, Dark Comedy, in my personal life, I'm now like the music guy to people, you know,
Right,
like, oh
right.
yeah, like Dusty plays music and writes songs.
Right.
And so now there's like more people aware, and like my parents are going to hear this kind of vibe, you know?
Right.
So I would say it's more embarrassing and harder to write honestly now. And thankfully on Dark Comedy, I kind of pushed through that. I kind of just like bullheadedly smashed through those barriers.
Yeah.
But I do worry about like in the future if I could maintain some integrity when I know that like my grandma's going to hear this and talk to me about it on Christmas. Or,
Right.
I mean, maybe not that specifically, but you know.
Well, yeah.
The personal life and the Walter life collide more than ever.
For sure.
You know?
And yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask, like, when subjects are present in your writing, then like, but they're also in your real life. Like you talk about your friends, you know, obviously this is about a certain person.
Right.
Like I'm sure that person has heard it. Like,
Right.
you know, family members are in the album. Like probably my favorite song on the album is Punk with an X. And I love like how you're like, yeah, like you guys keep asking me if I'm okay. Like Jesus Christ kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
so it's like all these people kind of hear themselves like being talked about, you know? Is that experience kind of strange? Like when you talk to them, like what's their like feedback? Are they like stoked that they're just on an album?
Like the friends and the real life people who show up on the album?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think I didn't portray anyone like too badly or negatively, you know?
Right.
So I don't think I've had too much. There's been some like awkward stuff like, oh wow, I can't believe you said that or whatever, but
Yeah.
no one's been like bummed they're on it. I'm sure a couple friends are like kind of stoked to get a name drop, which is fun, you know?
Yeah.
So far no one personally has come after me. It's more just been like embarrassing to lay yourself out there to your personal friends and family.
Right.
Yeah.
They're pretty supportive though. Like
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially nowadays, my friends and family are all very supportive.
Nice.
It's to the point in my personal life with my friends that like a lot of friends like maybe just like write off this whole Walter thing now. Like maybe back in the day they were like singing Otter Pops with me, but now they're like, oh, like Dustin's moved forward now, and that's like almost. It's not like they don't listen anymore, but it's like, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll come back with that thought, but it's almost like
cool.
past. It's like in a post.
Yeah.
Personal way with some friends.
Nice.
But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's tough to be like the artist guy or like the music guy, especially. I mean, I feel like just any alternative lifestyle, which I I would deem being an artist or like chasing something creative, usually like an alternative lifestyle. And it's tough to do that, I think, with just a lot of people. Like even my friends and some people I know who are, they like almost feel ostracized themselves. They're like a little bit out of the, I guess, like circle because they're living that lifestyle. So with that whole story, my question is, what do you think is like the hardest thing about being an artist and like leading the life of an artist?
That's a good question, because I'm such an artist. But I think kind of what you meant about like, yeah, I don't have a lot of people in my direct life who are like me or have a life like me. So I don't feel like I certainly don't have a lot of like mentorship or, I mean, I have support, but not like direct career support or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm slipping over here. So yeah, I think it would be kind of like that, is like a lack of, I can have role models, but I don't exactly have a mentor, if you know what I mean. Like I would love some guidance a lot of the time. And the only people I can talk to are like, who have lives like me, are usually like the same age as me and going through the same thing with their own band or something, you know?
Right.
So I think that would be the hardest part, is I really feel like I'm out on my own, paving a path, not knowing if I'm paving the right path a lot of the time, you know?
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I feel like you mentioned that in the song Eating Burritos Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like
For
second
sure,
guessing
yeah.
lifestyle. And
Right. That song is it's kind of a dumb poppy song, but at the same time, I feel like it's really sad, because like that is so much my life, and especially how it was then. It was like everyone's at work with their, you know, their jobs and their lives, that, not that it's good or bad, but they're all kind of like have the same type of life. And then here's like me on the outside, like in the middle of the day on a weekday, eating a burrito alone, you know, just like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Tuesday afternoon burritos.
Right. It just kind of gets lonely, and it's easy to question like what the heck I'm doing. And but it's all good.
Good.
I'm also stoked to be living that life too. So I'm not complaining at all.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, would you say like part of the highs of that life, like being able to create things, putting it out in the world, and like playing, but like what's like the best thing? Do you like doing the live thing, or like
I think I just like writing the most, you know, like writing songs and recording demos. And definitely the best part about my life, how it is now at least, is that I get to follow my whims like 100%. My whole work and play have blended together, and I'm just at the mercy of my whims and what I, you know,
love that,
what I feel drawn to, which is also dangerous and brings a lot of anxiety, of course. And but I think I've learned to like set boundaries and set goals so I can like keep myself guided, and at the same time follow my passion in a guided way, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Glad you figured that out.
I'm in the process of it. It's still happening.
Yeah, for sure. So the last thing on this album that I wanted to talk about was the very last song. Thank You for Growing Up With Me, right? Yeah. I love that track, and I just love that like sentiment, especially after going through a breakup, and you know, or going through something where you lose a friend or lose somebody over a long period of time that you had known them. Like it is such a interesting way to look at things. It's like thanking them for the time spent like growing up together over the years and all that. And I felt like it was a very nice like cherry on the top, like way to end the album, sweet, not like bitter or angry or anything like that. And I don't know, it feels like it's just a great song. I personally love that. Is that a song that you felt good? Like, was that like a really cathartic experience, like getting that song out?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's like the prime example on the album of like the best songwriting, at least, or I don't know, pushing myself as a writer. And then also the most like raw, like the representation of the raw personal nature of the album, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of it. But I kind of forget your original question.
Yeah. Just if you're proud of that song, if that's a cathartic experience, like.
Oh yeah. That was like, as far as just like pure, I mean, this is going to sound lame, but like expressing yourself goes, right. That was like the events at the beginning of the song, like meeting up with my ex and like having that like first talk after the breakup, you know, that kind of moment that pretty much all couples go through, was pretty much happened as literally as the song explains at the beginning. And then I went home and just, I think I like cried for like the first time in years. And then like did the same thing I always do, is I just started writing a song, you know?
Yeah.
And started literally just saying what happened in the song is how that song started. But then I think I stayed up for like 2 days. I forget where I told this story. I might have said this a lot already, but I stayed up for like 2 days, just kind of like drinking and smoking and writing this song and probably like crying and screaming, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
And then my friend Chris, our drummer, like comes over after 2 days, and I like had the song done. And we were like blasting it at like 10 a.m. and I hadn't slept, and I was like smoking a cig in my boxers. And then I think I was like tearing up, and Chris was just like, whoa, dude. Like, are you good? And then he's like, oh, this song's really good. This is sick.
Yeah.
And so I think just that like couple days of writing that song is like the perfect example of like how making art or whatever it is for you can be like so cathartic.
Yeah.
And so like just the process of getting over that breakup in that relationship is kind of like mirrored in like the process of like getting that song written and over the hump of recording it and stuff. If that makes any sense, you know.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
But that's the most direct like catharsis writing story I can think of in my life, was writing that song.
Love that. That's awesome.
And now I don't think I'll ever play it or talk about it after this again.
Wow. Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for writing that out. I mean, it's so good, and I feel like everybody can connect with that. Everyone could like sympathize with the experience. You know, at least most people.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's just so good, so good.
Thank you.
And this next song is called Gidget Etc. It's about my cat. It's for my cat. Gidget's hiding under the bed again. She doesn't like it when we fight. She doesn't understand why mom's upset and daddy's always leaving for a few weeks at a time. She doesn't get this is the start of something great. She has no concept of sacrifice. Lying on the rug in a little patch of sun, licking at your fingers, sleeping through the worst of times. While she sleeps, we have the talk, circling around the fact that we're both wondering if we're better off calling this our natural and allow ourselves the space and time to think through our lives, our plans. Don't hold back, just say the safe word and I will tell you. Yeah, I know I'm doing that thing again. And of course I know you're right. Spreading myself thin, saying yes to everything, just to panic and then blow up on you one random night. Apologize, make up, grow manic, then repeat. This is what fucking up a fairy tale looks like. I'm sensitive and soft, you stoic shutting out, but I know just what you're thinking. I know just what you're thinking. You're thinking that we're better off this our natural and allow ourselves the space and time to think through our lives, our plans. Don't hold back, just say the safe word and I will tell you. Gidget might be the main witness in the biggest mistake of our lives. Maybe this is love, the hammer to the thumb of building something beautiful, scraping up towards the sky.
So yeah, you're already like moving forward to a next project, or you're in the midst of writing more songs, or what's going on right now?
Yeah, we recorded some songs this summer. We all like went up to Big Bear and holed up for like, I was there for 2 weeks, but the band was there for like a week, and we recorded some more like acoustic, folky stuff that I have written, and kind of in the process of finishing that up right now.
Cool.
And not really sure what that's going to end up looking like, but
nice.
Next album will probably be the the nature acoustic
Ooh, love
down
it.
to earth album.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Or not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that was kind of like your early stuff, right? Like Walter Mitty.
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Walter Mitty was all acoustic.
Yeah, yeah.
So I won't say this really sounds just like Walter Mitty, but it probably
Yeah.
sounds closer than definitely closer than the last album.
Nice. Cool. Do you miss anything about like punk stuff or like punk songs or like more like high energy?
Yeah,
like
for sure. I mean, I'm already thinking about the album after this album, and
Yeah.
I'm like really into Bully right now and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, dude, the next album's gonna be so hard.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a mix of like, I don't know, but you know, I'm already
Yeah.
thinking about the next album being like harder and aggressive and maybe a little post-punk or something.
Sick.
But who knows? You know,
Yeah.
it'll probably change.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah, right.
Sweet. Well, with that, we got a few fan questions if you want to pop these.
Oh, boy.
And it's just 3 of them.
I think this is the longest I've had a conversation wearing my mask, so I apologize. I'm awkwardly
Oh, no, you're
shuffling
good.
it.
You're good.
I'm not good at this. All right. How does playing emo shows with MoBo, Modern Baseball, compare to playing indie shows? Huh. I will say this question for me is a little bit confusing because I would think like that bill with if MoBo's the emo band, there's probably also like an indie band playing that show with them or something. So I would think of these as kind of the same type of show, but maybe I need to think a little deeper. Could you think of an answer of how an indie show would differ from an emo show?
I mean, our emo shows, maybe people dress different. Maybe it's a little
Right.
bit more.
I would say people are
intense.
more engaged,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
intense. Some people
Indies-
crying and like screaming.
Right.
Indie shows are a lot of cool guys
Yeah,
just kind
exactly.
of doing the head
With
bob,
the drinks. And
with the
just, like,
drink in the
chilling.
back.
Yeah.
maybe a little bit older,
Right. Right.
and yeah.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Collaboration answer. I
Yeah,
like
thank
that.
you. Am I going through all these?
Yes. Yeah. it's just
Fan
3 of them.
Q2. Will you ever release something similar to the Walter Mitty albums in the future? I
Kinda
think we
covered
kind of
that.
just answered that.
Yeah, I think so.
The next album, if it ends up coming out, will be a bit more acoustic and less electric. So in that way, it will probably sound similar to Walter Mitty. Fan Q3. How do you decide on instruments? I thought I made up the theremin, to be honest. I thought I made up the theremin. There was a theremin on our last record. Actually, it wasn't technically a theremin. It was I couldn't play the theremin that well, so I Googled how to make the synth sound like a theremin.
There you go.
But we'll pretend like it's a theremin. How to decide on instruments? I guess me and Chris and Milk or whoever else is recording, and Ian on this last record. Our friend Ian Farmer from Modern Baseball, Slaughter Beach Dog, was the one who recorded this record.
Oh, cool.
And he had a lot of creative, sway in the room for this album. I guess I don't know, it just comes on what we think sounds cool with the part. And also, I kind of like to try to be a little bit quirky and like not just do guitar, bass, drums on every song, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely like try to push myself and use weird instruments or instruments in a context that they would otherwise not be used in. Like in the song on the album, what's it called? No More Visitors. It's like a real sludgy, like almost shoegazy, but it's not, but like real sludgy, heavy song. And then I like wanted to throw in like some violin or some orchestral classical thing to have some like juxtaposition, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's how we choose instruments, what sounds good and what is a little bit not normal.
Yeah. It sounded like on one of the songs, I think it was Missile Incoming. It sounded kind of like Kid A Radiohead vibes in the
Totally,
beginning.
yeah. That's like us trying to be weird. Like, can't really be that weird, but that's us trying to be weird.
Right.
I think that's like my voice backwards, like the voice from the verse, like played backwards and some other sounds.
It was cool.
Thanks.
I liked it, yeah.
That's as experimental as Walter gets right there.
Right. Love it. Love it. Sweet. I mean, with that, do you have anything else you wanted to mention about the album or about anything, any shout-outs?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. No, I don't know. You can buy the record from me in my store at makingnewenemies.com. And I usually send a little note and a little sticker. I run my own online store and like do all the screen printing for the shirts and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I would say that. Get the record in the store.
Sweet. I'll put the link to the website in the description of the video along with your socials and all that stuff.
Rad.
So Cool.
And thank you for having me and
Of
setting up
course.
for me and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited for this for sure. I am a fan, and that album was very touching. So,
Dude, well, thank you.
Of course. So yeah, with that, 2 quick shout outs: Topo Chico, Mineral Water. Love it so much. Thank you. And DC Shoes for hooking it up with shoes and just being the best. So thank you again, Walter, etc. Let's get into some music.
All right. Thank you, Chad.
And this next song is called Fish Won't Eat. Please say a prayer, my fish won't eat. She lays on the bottom and just stares at me. I'm less afraid that she will die and be a representation of my life. Her water's warm, her tank is clean. Got 2 fish and a snail, good company. Couple life plans, pH is right. Doesn't get scared when there's fireworks or the train goes by. And all summer I wanted to die. I would tap on her glass, some sort of Morse code for why are we living like royalty? The charmed life, the dream, but here I'm drawing a noose. And you won't fucking eat, talk to me.